the Ninja.
What's up, everybody? Duet Ninja in the house. Duet Ninja here. What's good? So this is part 2 on the criminality and the genesis of the criminal mind, so to say. Now some of this stuff sounds like duh kind of thing, but sounding and in reality are two different dynamics, and it helps us collectively by understanding where the criminal mind comes from, on how we can now in today's society, how we can entrap it and mold it in a way that's not going to be a negative outcome for the people in the community. So yeah, that's where we're going with this. By the end of this video, you should probably get a damn good feel of the realness, okay? Because we're going into psychological research and writings and things of that nature in terms of antisocial disorder, which is the primary indicator for criminal acts, whether it's stealing or white collar crime. These things come to light when one has this type of disorder. So now we're gonna go into the biochemical aspect of the human being and the hormone secretion, such as serotonin and dopamine. Yeah. Again, this is from the Law Library, American Law. And this is another indicator on how far behind we are in identifying and having an absolute when it comes to criminal behavior and the human being and the person. Now, obviously, you can see here in the early 21st century, researchers continued investigating the relationship between neurochemicals and antisocial behavior. And of course, antisocial behavior is a prime indicator, okay, looking outside of the human being and their actions, whether or not they will have a criminal type of event. But here's the problem. Based on the research from this article from the American Law, and I can attest to this because I studied this myself, it's extremely difficult to isolate brain activity from social and psychological factors, i.e. nature versus nurture. Okay, so here's the last video, okay? And I appreciate you taking your time looking at this, and if you didn't, that's fine. Anybody else watching this video will have a more clear idea of where the criminal mind comes from and how it's formed. This is provided by the Mayo Clinic on antisocial personality disorder, also known as sociopathy. Excuse me. Now, normally antisocial personality disorder should be seen early on in life. It's best if you catch it before age 15. That way you can have some type of intervention and submerge that back into the psyche so they're not acting out. Here's the problem, though. You tell me how many times you felt this way. You've had people in your circle who acted this way. Aggression towards people and animals. Destruction of property. Deceitfulness. Theft and or stealing. A disdain for following the rules or serious violation. Okay, so apparently that individual canceled their account. Well, I don't know. I'm hearing either they canceled their account on TikTok or maybe TikTok did it. I don't know. But I don't think it had anything to do with me. So just putting that out there. I'm not a bully. I'll just drop education on that ass if you don't like it. Tough. So let's dive into this shit, shall we? First up, I'm going to show you guys some information from the Brookings Institute, or brookings.edu. And it's some economic facts about crime and incarceration in the United States. I think you guys are going to find this very interesting. Check it out. So fact 7, I want to show you guys this one. We're going to hop around because everything is based on, not necessarily a full full semester workload of stuff, but the pinpoint information again that highlights where the criminal mind comes from, and actually how we can all see it around us, or at least comprehend what's going on potentially. I'm not asking you to go around and be a bunch of damn psychiatrists for hire,
Okay, just to be aware. All right, knowledge. Okay, so fact 7. There is nearly a 70% chance that an African American man without a high school diploma will be imprisoned by his mid 30s. That's crazy. That's crazy. So let's dive even further into that. Okay. So as you can see, it reads for certain demographic groups, incarceration has become a fact of life. And there's a figure that illustrates that, figure 7. I will show you that in a separate slide. The cumulative risk of imprisonment for men by race, education, and birth cohort. Okay. As described by Pettit and Western in 2004, those are two individuals involved in that publishing. The cumulative risk of imprisonment is the projected lifetime likelihood of serving time for a person born in a specific year. Specifically, each point reflects a percent chance that a man born within a given range of years will have spent time in prison by age 30 to 34. So, yeah, it's amazing that we can pinpoint these things from a social standpoint, and for some odd reason we still have to vote on things that have nothing to do with quelling this situation, and putting less stress on our resources in terms of law enforcement, in terms of social workers and things of that nature. These are things that the community can come together and help. But we have the information. Okay. So going down to the next paragraph, it reads men in the first birth cohort, 1945-1949, reached their mid 30s by 1980, just as the incarceration rate began a steady incline. For all education levels within this age group, only an 8 percentage point differential separated white and African American men in terms of imprisonment risk, depicted by the difference between the two solid lines in the far left. And again, it goes back to the figure. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the figure up for you and point out some things. And then we're going to hop over to identifying psychological factors that mediate the association between parenting, okay, and delinquency. So with this graph, you can see that there is a huge disparity between white males who are high school dropouts and African American males who are high school dropouts. The dotted line indicates, of course, the high school dropout indicator, and the solid lines dictate the all education levels. So, high school diploma, GED, associate's degree, et cetera, et cetera. Soak that up. Okay. So now we're going to hop on over to the psychological aspect. So, identifying these psychological factors in between antisocial disorder and parenting. In this in this text, we're just going to focus in on what this book was about and what they actually found. Right, and they go into greater detail on this text. But again, we just want to pinpoint and bring everything that those videos I showed earlier indicated. So, as you can see, in the past 3 decades, right? This is from 2007. Okay, so this reaching all the way back in the 70s. So, in the past 3 decades, many studies have reported that children exposed to inept parenting practices are at risk for conduct problems. Right, duh. And these findings indicate that parental hostility and rejection, ineffective monitoring and discipline, low parent-child involvement are the most powerful predictors of child conduct problems and delinquency, with parental antisocial behavior exerting a more modest effect. All right, and that's from 3 separate sources. dating all the way back to 1986 to 2004, 3 years prior to this literature. So again, it's imperative that we not only know these things, but we act upon them. Right? This is going to prevent the rioting. This is going to prevent the backlash. This is going to prevent the actions that cause these backlashes. Right? These are things that are doable. Okay, so we don't have to guess about what occurs when it comes to crime. Right? We don't have to guess anymore. We know. The fact of the matter is, not enough people knew, and not enough people know now, right? And that's where information can either motivate or give somebody an idea that they were trying to pinpoint all along, and they can head in the right direction and get things done. So. Just a little more information from this textbook. Now I found this very interesting, right? More importantly, however, the second paragraph. More importantly, however, past research has largely ignored the psychosocial mechanisms whereby parental behavior influences a child's risk of delinquency. Why? Why? One can simply go back to the graph prior, okay? We have to look at this country for what it is, folks, or what it was. What it was. It's not like that anymore, thank God. Who was that? Who were at higher risk of being in these environments that cause or exacerbate the antisocial disorder or antisocial behavior? It was the African American population. Back to the paragraph again. More importantly, however, past research has largely ignored the psychosocial mechanisms whereby parental behavior influences a child's risk of delinquency. Why? Okay, because ultimately that's going to pinpoint the result of what was systemic racism. People always say, "Well, who's controlling it? What do you mean? What are you talking about?" The fact of the matter is, the system was already set up. It was put into cruise control because everybody was too busy trying to be a capitalist. Okay, they're too busy being a capitalist, and unfortunately, what that means is that they're going to forget about a certain segment of the population, and they're going to forget about basic human decency because now it's a money grab. Especially when one segment of society, the segment of society who was at the under the boot, so to say, when it comes to these conditions that promote antisocial disorders, antisocial behavior. Because environments have to promote this, folks. People aren't born this way unless they came out of that environment. What promotes these environments? And they did studies on that and focus on the psychosocial mechanisms, it would indeed expose each and every one of the metrics and the steps that it took to get to that place, get to where we are right now with these environments that still exist. It will force the country to be like, oh shit, they were right. Oh shit, they were right. I hope you guys enjoy my air conditioning. But yeah. Oh shit. Oh shit, indeed. All right, so antisocial disorder can be pinpointed, and it has been pinpointed. And let's do something about it. Let's do something about it. Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one. Take care. And keep your eyes open.
Ninja warriors, the powers they hold are legendary.